Hi viewers, welcome to the show. This is Dr. Aijaz Qureshi from Toronto, Canada. Today's Daydreamer show. We have a great topic today about green Pakistan, how Pakistan can become green. I have two great personalities with me. The first personality is Mr. Ameer Hamza. Uh, he's Pakistani and he has done his Bachelor of Science from the NUST, National University of Science and Technology. He has passion for robotics and intelligent machines. He's participated in many national and international competitions and won prizes and medals and everything. He received Fulbright, a scholarship for Masters in Computer Science in the United States. He's becoming a yoga teacher now. That's what he's doing. And we'll figure out what else he's up to. The other guest is Krystal Lin. Krystal is working with um, she studied environmental economics and policy at University of California at Berkeley, sustainable agriculture at the University of Göttingen from Los Angeles, California. She is, and just returned Peace Corps volunteer. So Krystal is a native Southern California. I wanted to break before I bring them on the show, and they're laughing behind the scene. So they're getting married, and what they're up to after they're getting married, or on the occasion of them getting married, we'll figure it out with them. So let's welcome to the show. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi. So first of all, Ameer Hamza, would you like to tell us a little bit more about yourself, what you have been up to, and how did you get here where you are today?
Yeah, like you said, started off in Pakistan, a very typical middle-class family, public school background. Got very interested in knowledge and science mostly. Ended up in NUST, which is kind of the place where everybody wants to go for higher studies. I got very interested in robotics, just a chain of events. Became very interested in artificial intelligence, software for it, hardware, and basically making intelligent machines and making them do things that normally human beings or animals can do. Like you said, I participated in a lot of competitions, and that helped me learn a lot of things. Learning is one of the things that I'm really passionate about, constant learning. And I feel like, in life you got to do that because being stagnant just kind of puts you down. Then I got a scholarship, Fulbright scholarship for master's program in University of Southern California. That's where I spent 2 years for my master's, explored my field a lot more, but in the meantime also got a lot of exposure, uh, had some inner experiences as well. My perspective obviously broadened and changed a lot. Then I also got a scholarship for PhD right after I finished my master's. But so by then I kind of started to think a little bit differently, even though I was really passionate about robotics and artificial intelligence, machine learning, etc. Um, so I went into PhD anyway because it had been a dream of mine for a long time. But within the first year or so, I kind of realized that once you kind of get close to the top and you have a taste of what it's all about, and if you're a questioning human being, you question yourself and you figure out, okay, what am I doing with my life? Is it worth it? Is it making me happy? Is it really useful for the world? And it took me a while, but the answer kept coming back as a no, that this wasn't a good thing for me anymore. It had served its purpose, no regrets at all. It was great. Um, I personally see knowledge not as a career, but as a lifelong endeavor. So knowledge is great. So I got what I wanted from it. But then Like one of my teachers says, true freedom is not to do what you want to do, but what's needed to be done. If you're able to do that joyfully, um, that's true freedom. And I felt like as my own desires and my own ambitions and aspirations, uh, their hold became weaker on me, I was able to look around myself and see all the things that needed to be done in this world. This immense poverty, the planet is crumbling, we can see it all around us. We have wars, we don't have peace. This combined with a few other experiences kind of made me think differently to sort of take a break, take another route for my life, and so that's what I'm currently doing. So I ended up um, thinking about yoga a lot because for me, yoga. So a lot of people when they hear about yoga, they think about people twisting their bodies in weird ways and stuff, but that's not what it's about really. It's about raising human consciousness and making our inner worlds beautiful. And if our inner worlds are beautiful, then outside is going to reflect that naturally. It's kind of a simple concept, but a lot of us don't get it. So this is my path right now, and hopefully, while we speak more, I can tell you more about it. So, back to
When it comes to yoga, I think that I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to, stretch out and, twist my legs and, all do different kinds of things. But,
absolutely.
thank you so much for explaining. It's a breathing kind of a exercise that can do different things.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Hamza. I really appreciate it. So now let's bring on Krystal. Krystal, would you like to tell us your life experience and how did you get here where you are today?
Yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of my schooling has informed some of the issues that I chose to prioritize in my life and to work on. After college, I got really interested in climate policy and different ways that climate change could be addressed. And I looked at different sectors. I realized that I wasn't an engineer. I wasn't building fuel efficient cars. I wasn't designing LEED certified buildings. But I looked at agriculture, and it was like of 1/4 of the emissions that are responsible for for climate change. And so I thought, well, maybe agriculture might be a way to address this. And then I got into small scale agriculture. I worked on an organic farm for 4 months in the deserts of New Mexico. And that taught me a lot about what it's like to be in the field and not everything as a theory, but life is in front of you and you have to tackle it and address problems and solve them on the spot. And then from there, I decided to just change from environmental studies or environmental economics into agricultural development. And from there, I went to Germany. Oh, I first went to the Netherlands for 6 months, and then I went to Germany to finish my master's degree. And I studied sustainable international agriculture, but more on the rural development side. I got really interested in questions about development economics, the intersection of development, poverty, and food. And then I dove deeper into questions about food security. So the decisions after that I made in my career development were oriented towards development work, what we call international development. And it's a large industry. It's funded by donors. It's funded by, or very prominent IGOs like the UN. And over time, when you're in any industry, I guess you get to see what the reality of everything is. There is a bottom line. There is an agenda. There is a business. And I guess from there, I decided to see what it was like to live in a village and work with farmers with my hands and understand what their realities were in 2018. or when I went was 2015, but in modern times. So I went to be a Peace Corps volunteer in Zambia. I lived in a rural village of about 1,000 people for 2 years, and we worked on different nutrition projects as well as agroforestry and small livestock raising. The questions that we kind of take for granted, like where does my food come from, were very much addressed during my experiences in my village. And in Zambia, it's quite sparse. It's got a lot of arable land. It has a lot of forest as well, so there's a lot of potential. But there's a lack of modernization in terms of thought and agricultural practices. But modernization doesn't mean mechanization, just sort of a new way to manage and plan your land use. So from there, I finished my service and I came back to California. After I came back to California, I went to Pakistan as like a reward for finishing my service. And then I asked Hamza if he was available, and then we hung out after he finished Hajj. And I guess now we're here. So, yeah.
So Hamza, I did this little test here. I did mute you, so there's some noise coming, I think. Do you have a pair of earbuds that you can use for now?
Oh, noise from my end? Okay. Maybe this is better.
Yeah, it's noise coming from yours.
I think it should be better now.
It's better, yes. So it was fan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's kind of hot here in Islamabad.
I know, it's hot here too today. There are two heat warnings, like a severe heat warning, and it's really crazy.
Yeah.
So let's get back to two of you. So you two both met, and now you are about to be getting married in winter. That's the plan. So that wedding is going to happen in Pakistan, probably in Islamabad or around Islamabad somewhere, right? I'm just guessing.
Yeah,
in Islamabad. Okay. So what different you want to do for your wedding?
So the thing about wedding is I've been to a lot of weddings because my friends are getting married recently, and I can't help but think that there's a lot of money being spent on things that at least they don't matter to me. And in my understanding and analysis, they don't really matter in a positive way to the society, to the general community. It's understandable to want this day to be very special for you. So personally, this day is obviously special for us as well. But the reason we are coming together as a unit is because we want to have a positive impact in the world, right? And I think both of us are on the same page when we say that a lot of the traditional ways of celebrating this important day of your life is kind of it's not the it could be done better. Let me just put it that way. I don't want to criticize the normal ways of doing things a lot, but I'm personally
we
not
can criticize, definitely. At least I
right,
can.
good.
I
Good.
can.
The thing is, yeah,
Hundreds
well,
of thousands of rupees or millions of rupees are being spent on something that is unnecessary, totally unnecessary, right?
absolutely. Yeah, and it's you can have fun. You can be happy without spending money on things that are going to be there for 2 or 3 hours, and then for instance, a bridal dress, which is very very expensive, it's only worn once for a few hours. That
Yeah.
that just does not sit well with me. And so I want to use our wedding, to be a positive message, not just in terms of, okay, don't do this, this is not good, but also this is doable. And so what we've thought, okay, there are a lot of good things that can be done in the world out there, but two of the things that we care about is obviously trees and the planet, and the other thing is obviously food. because if people are hungry, this world is not in the right place. So these are kind of the two things that we've shortlisted that we want to do for our wedding, and also hopefully get people involved in it. So our guests and the people who want to celebrate with us, they'll also take home a good message, and they'll also go home feeling like, okay, they participated in something positive and something that's not for just pomp and show, and that's just a tradition. Because also the thing is, spending so much money on these things, it's making things difficult for people who can't afford it, right?
True.
People want to get married, but they can't get married, and that's really sad, and that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, that's right, Hamza. So, Crystal, there was your wedding dress, man.
Wait, I'm sorry, I didn't get your question.
No, I'm not asking. I'm just
Oh.
commenting on Amir. Amir said that okay, so like bridal dress, right?
Oh,
The
yeah.
red, expensive bridal dress, the traditional dress, and you know. So I said, there goes your dress.
Yeah, there goes my dress, my goats, my gold, all of
Yeah.
it. It's just not gonna happen.
Okay. All right. So, Crystal, now Amir Hamza had really great idea in his mind that how he want to celebrate the wedding, and how did you bought into this idea? Who presented this idea?
Okay, it was mutual.
No,
It
no, no, no,
wasn't
come on. This is not fair. I'm asking a direct question. I want a direct answer. Whose idea
okay.
was this?
Hamza, whose idea was this?
Okay.
Okay, so I presented the idea that I would like something good to be done for our wedding, because I told her how
Mhm.
what our wedding culture is like, and
Yes.
then we started thinking about it, and then we came up with ways we could make our wedding a good thing.
Right. So what I did was I went on Facebook and
Yeah.
networked madly to find ways that we could accomplish this. I crowdsourced for information months and months ago, looking for organizations, nonprofit causes that were either, social, environmental, education, whatever it was. And I talked to so many organizations that were like, okay, at my school we need this, and in my village we need this. And then a lot of people started presenting their causes. Some people kind of criticized me for the things that I mentioned. We were thinking about sanitation. We thought about like trash pickup, and then we obviously tree planting, because from my Peace Corps experience, it was just like the thing to do was to plant a tree. So it wasn't too far away from my normal repertoire of things to do. And then we looked at feeding the hungry, and then I asked different organizations like SOS villages, would you be open to I guess hosting us with your venue, and then allowing us to speak with your children. We like have a day of fun, with like what like a dolki is like, right? I'm sure you guys know. I've been to only one, but like it seems to be a lot of fun. You can involve all sorts of people from all walks of life that you don't
True.
necessarily know, and it's still okay. It's not
Yeah.
too exclusive. And then one individual named Fahad, he works at, or he's a volunteer for Green Squad. He's a really remarkable young man. He told me about what he's doing. I looked into Green Squad. I started asking him a lot of questions, and I was like, okay, I think we're gonna work with you. We want to collaborate. We want to do this. And so that's how it worked. We just found this on Facebook. So I mean, it wasn't like Hamza had to put a PowerPoint and then pitch it to me and convince me. I mean, I was already on board. We were
Yes.
looking at just the actual cause to
Yeah.
donate to, and like the organization, how do we plan it, and all of that. There's a lot of questions to it. Tree planting is not just like, oh yeah, let's go outside, wear some boots, take a shovel. I mean, there's a lot to it. There's a lot more to it in terms of its maintenance, the logistics and transport.
Yes.
Getting state institutions on board was a huge milestone for Green Squad as well. And in Pakistan, there are a lot of tree planting drives. There are a lot of people that do it, a lot of organizations that have nurseries, universities that know about it. It's in the awareness of people. Now we need to turn it into activism. Who does it? Then we found someone that does it. And then these are people we want to work with. Now, completely volunteer run. And this is, that's exactly in the spirit of what we want to do, how we volunteer our efforts and money for the wedding as well.
Oh, that's great. Both of you, hats off to you, really. I mean, this
Thank
is
you.
something that is different, that is unique. Lots of people really spend lots of money that goes waste, as Hamza said, that it is just few hours of joy, and then that money is gone down the drain. There's no use of it. So let's make use of it, and that's what you're trying to do right now with your event. Now let's talk about. There are lots of viewers here, and there are people who will be viewing it or watching the recording after we go offline. How they can support the cause, how they can support you, both of you.
Krystal, can you start with that?
Yeah, so in my local masjid, I've already circulated a fundraising proposal that outlines our story so far and the cause that we want to contribute to and why our cause is a little different, because there are so many worthy causes, but we're choosing to focus on this one. So right now, the plantation drive in its monsoon season now is happening in Islamabad. So I think to get involved, if you're local or even in Karachi as well, there are tree planting drives that you can work as volunteers and volunteer your body, your labor, your health, like your healthy body to do this. And that's one way to contribute to the trees that are already being planted. Then in terms of the financial support, it depends on where you are. If you're in the US, we're kind of doing it like sort of the tin can method, where I just go to people one-on-one and I talk to them and they actually donate. They give me an envelope of money and they say, oh, or come pick it up at this time. And I'm kind of just like collecting it one by one. If you're not with me, then I ask, like, maybe send through PayPal or Venmo, whatever transaction app you use. And then there's the possibility that if you're in Pakistan, to directly donate to the group. So, if you guys need those details, I can talk to you about it. But those are the ways that we are doing it. With GoFundMe, Indiegogo, Launch Good, Start Some Good, all of these companies are doing remarkable work as well for fundraising or crowdfunding. But I'm trying to keep it grassroots, very, very grassroots, and to avoid these fees that end up maybe taking the place of trees, because we're looking at an average of about $2.50 for a tree. The average is over lots of different species that are of different prices at the nursery. So I just don't want any dollar lost. And I know that if I take it, I will not take a penny. I will give every rupee to the group, and that's why we're doing it this way.
Awesome, that's great.
So
well, you got a volunteer here. Sorry, Ameer, I'm going to come back to you for your point of view. But we got a volunteer here. Usman Nasir is volunteering himself for the cause. So thank you so much, Usman Nasir. You can reach out to these two young people here and offer your services. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We need people like you, Usman, to really help them out, because Krystal is right now in Los Angeles. Ameer Hamza is in Islamabad. So whoever, you can get with your team, and we want your friends also on board with you, Usman. I'm talking to you, and bring them on and spread the word that what these two young fellows are doing, and spread that word out, bring on the people. Let's make Pakistan green. That's what they are trying to do. Hats off to you, Krystal, that you're thinking to make our country, your country, and my country, and country green. So thank you so much for that. Hats off. Coming back to Ameer.
So yeah, if you're in Pakistan, the page is called Hum Pakistan. Um, Green Squad is a group of about 15 to 20 people, core people, and then there are a lot of people like ourselves who help them in different ways. So in person, connect with them, talk to them. Um, like Crystal said, you can bring in your health, your body, your wealth in whichever way you can help. Please do help. Ultimately, a tree planted on this earth is a gift to this entire earth. It goes beyond any kind of boundaries, and we need it, right? We're looking at climate change and all these kinds of issues. Especially if you're living in Pakistan, you might have noticed that there's a drastic increase in heat waves and irregular weather patterns, and this is serious stuff. This threatens the very existence of human species, and others. Many species have been wiped out because of this kind of thing. And so, let me just say, over the last week or 10 days, almost 2,000 trees have been planted in different parts of Rawalpindi and Islamabad, with collaboration with certain government agencies as well, like Capital Development Authority and the Pakistan Army. And people are willing to help because I think at this point, a lack of trees is affecting everyone. So to encourage people that, people who think that, oh, the government has to do something, the government is, or parts of the government are willing to help somewhat, but we kind of have to push them, right? Because we need all the maintenance and all the help that we can get. So for the trees that have been planted recently over the last week or two, um, we're already there's about 250,000 rupees that are pending for nurseries. So that's something that we are working on. We're collecting donations within Pakistan, and what Crystal is doing in Southern California is also going to be a part of that. So feel free to contact and offer your help in whichever way you can. Because one other thing is that if you can provide contacts with people who can help, like for instance, they were able to collaborate with the army and the media and the Capital Development Authority through such people who sort of want to participate in this kind of stuff. So there are many, many ways to get involved. So give it a shot.
Awesome. We got another volunteer. He's my brother, my friend, my best friend for past 30, 40 years. His name is Abdullah Faruqi. He just moved to Toronto. He is in Toronto and he's offering his services as well. So we got at least two volunteers today in this program. And may I request to both of you personalities, please send me all the links for the GoFundMe and any other, crowdfunding fund collection that you have already set up so that I can add it to the post rather than commenting on the post because comments go down.
Yeah.
So I will add it to the body of the post so it's right there. People can go and click on it and then can be, helpful in donating. Okay, so this is what you're trying to do. Just to recap, friends, for those friends who have joined late our show, these two young people, Ameer Hamza from Islamabad, Pakistan, Krystal Lin from Los Angeles, Southern California. She is joining hands with Ameer, both getting married. They want to do different thing on their wedding day rather than bringing in 500 or 1,000 people and serving them biryani, korma, and zarda and pulao and everything and naans. And they want to go out and actually feed the hungry, and they want to plant the trees in Pakistan and make it green. So this is a big cause. This is a great, great cause. I really salute both of these young people. We need the young blood to take over these things because they are our future. They are the builders of Pakistan. We have to come out and support them and help out in any way, shape, or form that we can, right? We can be their hands, we can be their feet, we can be their eyes, we can be their tongue, we can be them actually. All right. So I'll request to all my followers and friends that please do come out and help these young people out to make Pakistan green. Finally, it's about time to close our show. Ameer, what would be your final message to the general public, to the youth of Pakistan?
So the message that I would give you is that you do not have to be held hostage to your culture, because your action today is tomorrow's culture, just as um, the actions of the past have become the culture of today. So the culture that we live in is in our hands, and the actions we take today, no action is too small. Do the best you can in any small way you can, right? Bringing a smile to someone's face is a worthy cause. Please go for it. Thank you.
Awesome. That's great. Krystal.
As a non-Pakistani national.
Oh, you will be eventually. You will be eventually. Yes. I mean, come on.
Okay, my government cannot hear that. So,
Okay, all right.
yeah, it's okay. I understand what you mean. Yeah, as a non-Pakistani national and as a visitor and tourist and fan of your culture and country, I hope one day you can view Pakistan in a way that I have viewed it, at least some of the beauty that I have witnessed and that beauty that has transformed a lot of parts of me. In the world, there are a lot of bad things, and then there are a lot of good things too, but these good and bad are mixed. And taking some of the good from wherever you go, wherever you visit in the world, is a privilege, and it's also a responsibility to keep it, maintain it, guard it, and make it grow to its potential. I love the fact that it's your country is a very spiritually charged place, and I think that that energy can go towards a lot of good, and you can choose to do that.
Awesome. Great. Well, thank you so much for the message, both of you. On behalf of the Dreams Television, the Daydreamers Show, myself, Dr. Aijaz Qureshi, all of my Facebook friends, people who viewed the show or have commented or who have volunteered and who will be watching this show later on as a recording, I thank you, both of you personalities, to be on my show, and good luck with your wedding, and enjoy, and please do serve the community, do serve the poor, do serve the hungry, and make Pakistan green, both of you together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.